Hi, OJ. Have you ever heard your name in the middle of the night, but nobody was there? Not your mother, not your siblings, just the wind. They say when the spirits call your name in the middle of the night, don't answer. I wished I had listened. OJ, I haven't told this to anyone, not my pastor, not even myself in the mirror, but today I want to say it. Maybe if I say it out loud, I would finally stop hearing the noise. It happened about 5 years ago in a small village near Nkranza in the Bono East region. You won't find it on Google Map. The place is hidden behind some bush paths and broken silence. We only went there because of my grandmother's funeral. My mom said we had to bury her on her father's land as custom demands. So we packed our things, me, my younger siblings, and our cousin, and followed her like good children. The village looked normal on the outside, mud houses, tall palm trees, fufu pounding in the evening, but the air there felt different, thick, like it remembered things we haven't yet seen. That first evening, my uncle Kwabena sat us down around the fire. He wasn't a talkative man, but that night he said something that made my skin crawl. He checked his watch, looked towards the bush and said, "Nobody should be outside after midnight. If you hear someone calling your name, don't answer." I asked him why. He looked at me and just said, "Because of her." The second night, I found out exactly what it meant. That night, there was no light. The kerosene lamp had just gone off. The air was cold, unusually cold, not harmattan, something else. Something had wrapped itself around your neck gently, like it was waiting for permission to squeeze. I was lying down beside Kojo, my cousin, in the small guest room. The window had no nets, just wooden shutters. I couldn't sleep. The frogs and crickets were making their usual village choir, but behind all that noise, there was something off. Then OJ, at exactly 1:47 a.m., I heard it. A voice, soft, sweet, almost caring, like the voice of someone who once loved you, but now wants to bury you. It said, "Ifia." OJ, that's my name. But it wasn't anyone I knew. The voice didn't belong to Mami or Auntie Ifua. It wasn't Kojo. It wasn't human. I froze. I sat up slowly. Kojo was snoring like a broken generator. I looked around the room. Then the voice came again. "Ifia." This time from the window. I tiptoed to check. No one was there. Just darkness. Tall grass. Banana trees waving. As I turned back, I heard it again, but this time the voice was inside the room. "Ifia." Right behind me, OJ, I screamed. Not because I wanted help, but because fear pushed the air out of my lungs without permission. Kojo jumped up, scared. My uncle burst into the room with a flashlight. My mom followed, holding a bottle of anointing oil. "What happened?" they asked. I couldn't talk properly. I said, "Someone was calling me." A woman's voice. OJ, the look my uncle gave my mother, I will never forget it. She said quietly, "It has started again." The room changed. Everyone went silent. My little sister started crying, and my mom just dropped onto the edge of the bed like someone slapped her soul. Then the story came out. Many years ago, there was a woman in the village named Ajamanza. She was quiet, wore black every day, didn't talk much. People said she could speak to snakes and didn't cast a shadow on Fridays. The elders accused her of witchcraft, said she cursed the crops and made children sick. So one night, the youth dragged her out and tied her to an old mango tree. They poured petrol on her and lit a match. As the fire ate her flesh, she screamed, "You will burn my body, but not my voice. I will return. I will whisper, and someone will follow." Since then, every few years, someone dies in that village. Always a visitor. Always someone who heard a whisper at night. She calls your name once. If you answer, you are hers. My mother grabbed my hands, shaking. "Ifya, did you answer?" I paused and said no. "But OJ, I lied." Because when I first heard it, when I was half asleep, I did reply. A soft, confused yes. Barely a whisper. I thought maybe it didn't count. But spirits don't miss things like that. That same night, they took me to the shrine. The village priest. The shrine was dark, full of smoke and old carvings. He didn't even look at me. Just told me to sit on the floor and remove my slippers. He poured something cold and slimy on my hands, then started chanting. When he finished, he opened his eyes and said, "She didn't take you." I wanted to breathe in peace, but then he added, "Because someone else answered in your place." I asked who. He looked towards the door of the shrine. "She called your name, but another voice said yes." That was enough. OJ, the next morning we found Kojo lying behind the kitchen, eyes wide open, hands clutched, face pale, mouth slightly open like he wanted to say something, but couldn't. He never woke up. They said he answered her. Maybe he thought it was a joke. Maybe he said something like, "Ifya isn't answering, I dare hear." And just like that, he became the answer. We buried him the same day, quiet, no loud wailing, just the sound of shovel hitting red earth and muttering of elders too scared to speak. OJ, I couldn't even look at his body because deep down I knew he took my place. He answered what I shouldn't have, and that was all she needed. As we were leaving the village, I packed my bags with shaky hands. My eyes were swollen from crying. I couldn't eat, couldn't breathe properly. Then just as I put my bags into the car, I saw her. A little girl standing barefoot near the cocoa tree. She was staring straight at me. She didn't blink. Then she smiled and muttered something. I didn't hear her voice, but I read her lips. "See you soon." OJ, I still wake up at 1:47 a.m., even in Accra, even with light on. And sometimes I still hear it, just once. Ifya. And I never. This is Your AnonymousOJ, and if you are new here, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And tell somebody about Your AnonymousOJ. I'll see you in our next confession.